welcome to Mandemic Mondays. It's the only podcast hosted by best friends who have absolutely nothing in common except their names. I'm Mandy Fabian.
And I'm Mandy Kaplan, and we are, you guessed it, the Mandys. And each week we review and debate the latest Netflix or other streaming services release, and whatever else people are doing these days to stay sane. During these crazy times, we got to change this intro eventually. We like to call
the Mandemic. I know, everything's so easygoing and like normal.
We're not trapped in our homes anymore.
No, we're only trapped in our own psyches.
Yes, and we're still totally messed up, and we need to focus on pop culture and fun things to get us through.
Yeah, I definitely feel like even after this so-called virus is gone, that we still have enough crazy to keep going, to keep this train moving.
We sure do.
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. Hi.
This show is going to be edgy.
It is. It is. And let me tell you, I'm very angry with you.
Again?
Yeah.
What else is new?
No, I'm furious actually.
Yeah.
But more than angry with you, I'm furious at myself because you were like, we're going to watch Trippin with the Kardashians or the Kandasamys. I don't know. I should know. Kandasamys. And I watched the trailer and I was like, oh God, I should call an audible. I'm not going to enjoy this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, can you do an audible 2 plays in a row? So I'm asking my sports expert friend, can you do that?
You sure can.
Okay. Good to know for future reference.
Yeah.
But I did watch Trippin with the Kandasamys.
Mm-hmm.
And we shall discuss.
Okay. First, would you like to sum it up in 20 seconds or less?
I think you should. Because
I feel like this is a challenge. This one, I was trying to shirk my responsibilities.
You want me to sum it up?
And make it rhyme.
It's a so-called romantic comedy. It is neither romantic nor a comedy, but it's a so-called romantic comedy about, look, I'm just going to tell you what I saw. I can't tell you what the pitch line was, but about 2 wives trying to save their marriage and go away with their husbands. And then their whole family crashes the trip and comedy ensues.
Right. I would call it more of a family dramedy than a rom-com. It didn't really feel like a rom-com, right?
Yeah.
And there was some drama. Okay. So first of all, I'm calling it Trippin with the Mandasamys.
I love you for that.
That's what I named the episode, right?
Really good. Yeah.
So maybe we just review shit where we can make puns with our name.
Definitely 100%.
Okay.
We're going to have so much fun with like Mandy.
Ooh, well played. So quick out of the gate.
Oh, wait, what's that? Didn't Thomas C. Howell have a movie, Soul Mandy? We could do Soul Mandy. I'm loving this.
What was the one with Jim Carrey? Was he a handyman?
Cable Mandy.
Cable guy. Crap.
Oh, can't we change it to Cable Mandy?
I thought it was like handyman. We'll work on it. Please write in. Please write us on Instagram at Mandy_Kaplan_Clavens or
at Mandy Fab.
And pitch us puns on Mandy movies.
But here's what I'm going to say to you. Handy Mandy is a movie that I'm already writing in my head, and it has some stunning visuals. Okay. Do you have a tool belt? Because if not, I'll get you one for your birthday. And I'm loving this.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
A tool belt and a bare ass, and I'm ready to go. Okay.
God, I love you. Yes.
So the movie opens with this beautiful newlywed couple in slow motion under their lily white sheets, not really kissing because it's an Indian family and they don't do a lot of kissing. But they're very attracted to each other. It's very implied sexy. And there's a voiceover from the matriarch in the movie talking about marriage. And I enjoyed that immensely. I was like, okay, they are clearly laying out what this movie's about and what marriage means and how hard it is. And good for them. Like, it was lovely.
Yep.
And then after that, I wanted to stab myself.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I knew you would. And I can tell you exactly where you wanted to stab yourself, Mandy Kaplan.
Just one place? Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I know the first time you wanted to stab yourself. 3 minutes and 31 seconds.
I have it written down. The exposition pitch. Yes! Oh, we know each other so well.
We finally agreed. And like, yeah, you're right. I was like, oh, I wrote down that time code because I was like, she is going to hate. That is her worst nightmare in a movie. And she's going to hate that. So Pete, play the clip. 3:31 to, when it ends. It was 3:47 or something.
If he is happy, then I am happy. I think. Okay, I don't know.
Listen, we have a plan, remember? It's your 50th birthday. It's a couples-only holiday. This is the holiday when we get our husbands back.
Razok, this is the holiday where we dodge the waves, huh?
Yep, there it is, folks.
Here's what the movie is. Dum-ba-da-da.
Oh,
and it was in the trailer.
Yep.
And when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be like eating garbage. This is going to be like bathing in garbage, having sex with garbage, showering in garbage. This is going to be...
You have an interesting point of reference here. None of this is familiar to me.
You've never bathed in garbage?
My honeymoon. But anyway, a little bit of background. This is a South African movie. I didn't write down the name of the director, but I should call her out to the mat. So here we go, everybody. This is the third movie in a trilogy about this family.
Yeah. By the way, I was wondering that. I was like, they have to be super famous because I'm not sure. I guess I could see that they would be super famous, but
they are not. The director is Jayan Moodley, and the two lead actresses are Meshni Naikar and Jaloshini Naidu, play the two female leads, the Lucy and Ethel, if you will.
Sure. Will you though? How would Lucy and Ethel feel about that? But I hear you. I hear that that's what they were going for. And before I sound like a horrible person, which I'm going to.
Too fucking late.
I'm simmering with rage because this might be the worst movie. This is my Concrete Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's a bait and switch, because it's like, this is going to be charming. They're going away to a resort. I did love the resort, by the way. I would like to visit that resort. I'd be okay with that.
I'm making a Sally Albright from When Harry Met Sally gross face.
Yeah. You really are.
Yeah, for those who can't see. My nose is crinkled. I'm not pleased.
I thought maybe you were larding just now, but it wasn't. It was.
It's a distinct possibility.
Yeah, no, that is the only thing that I was like, well, at least they got to go someplace beautiful. But I was angry because I had expectations of this sweeping me away or making me laugh or making me feel anything or making me laugh or anything.
Making you feel something other than rage.
Look, I get it if Army of the Dead has to be awful because it's violent and awful. But for being a violent, awful movie, like it was a good, violent, awful movie for people who like that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But this is my jam.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that I eat up with a spoon. And it was so disappointing.
Do you eat jam with a spoon straight? We don't have to talk about the movie. Let's talk about the disgusting things we eat in the dark when we're alone.
Yeah, peas right out of the can for sure.
Oh, I've been known to do beans right out of the can. Refried beans, just spoonfuls of them.
Oh, that's even cold refried beans from a can? Whoa.
Yeah.
God, we are learning so much about each other.
I know.
I will eat dessert that's more than 2 weeks old.
Oh, okay. That's extreme.
Now I feel shamed.
Last night I tried to cut around the mold on some cheese for dinner. I was like, I can just cut the mold out. I can't tell if that's mold, but it'll be fine. And then I just threw the cheese out and used non-moldy cheese. You're welcome, Jeremy.
Wow. I made tikka masala. So that tells you how moldy my vegetables were.
You just got to disguise them.
Just put a lot of spice. Yeah.
I wrote this down after I just made my little Sally Albright reference from When Harry Met Sally and I made my little face, which I make all the time. I actually wrote down that they did a game scene straight out of When Harry Met Sally where they're all playing a game and they're not getting it. And we've seen this scene in everything we've ever watched, right?
Oh my God.
We've seen it on Friends and Will and Grace. Like we've just seen this ad nauseum.
Ugh.
So yeah, that was infuriating. And I was just like, oh, it's Baby Fishmouth. But with an Indian cast.
I feel like they stole they came up with all these things that are like, oh, isn't this going to be funny? I felt like they stole all the things from the other movies, but then decided to not do them well.
Agreed.
Cringy faces, funny, like when she is hiding in the bushes and then pretending to be a bird. I did not understand why that scene was funny at all. It was not believable at all. And none of it made sense. I mean, but it should have. I don't know what happened. Is it a cultural difference?
So here's what I believe. I watched an interview with the director and the two female leads.
What?
I did. I think I watched it during the movie. Like, I think I, like on a different device because I was so bored. They made it during COVID. Netflix funded it. So they were like, we have the freedom to make a movie. And it felt very slapdash. It felt like they all went to the resort with a loose idea of what they wanted to do. And then they were like, oh, how about in this scene, we dance. And then my husband will dance with the very, very annoying slutty woman. And, it just didn't feel like a fleshed out script. And it was so like, hey, let's do a scene we've seen in other movies before. Let's just rip off what we've seen. It felt like my mom will make the costumes.
Yeah, it was like a bad improv night that you were like, oh, come on, let's get there. Is there anything that's gonna? Yeah. I think the main thing though was this whole premise. Like the whole premise was so sexist. The whole thing was like archaic and sexist. Like the worst thing in the world that could ever happen to somebody is they can't get pregnant.
They cried and cried and cried and cried about not getting pregnant. And the whole time I was just like, adopt! Like what? Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, so annoying. I know. I thought the same thing.
Okay. I thought maybe I was being insensitive because I'm such a fan of adopting. And because I didn't grow up dreaming of being pregnant. And I know some people do. And you would definitely have to grieve that if you didn't have the ability to do it. But the drama, the melodrama they went for was so over the top and made that couple very unlikable.
I agree. Like, what did he say? It was very funny because he was crying. He's like, I can't believe our house is going to be a quiet one with no children and just the two of us reading the paper and watching TV. And I'm like, you're describing my fantasy.
Right.
The words you're speaking are so wonderful that I don't understand why you're crying right now.
Right. Right.
Oh,
and then
God.
The stereotypes were off the charts. And like the husbands are useless and rude and trying to get rid of the ball and chain. It's said right there in the clip we played, right? This is the weekend where we dodge the wives. Like so bad. Yeah. And I wrote, this is the highlight of watching the movie. I take notes as I watch. And I wrote, the men are hateful and stupid and stereotypical, like a bunch of South African Ted Bundys.
Wow.
And as I'm reading my notes, I meant Al Bundy from Married with Children.
Oh my God.
So to be clear, they are not serial killers in yellow VW Beetles.
No, but they are joy killers. Like it will kill your hope that people are past that sexist, awful gender portrayals of women are desperate for their men's attention and men get to behave however they want and look however they want and dress however they want. And women are going to wait on them and shrug because all they want is their men to pay attention to them. Yep. It's like, ugh.
But man, Preggy made tea at the end for his wife. So everything's okay.
Oh my God. That was his
After 30
character.
years of taking advantage of her and taking her for granted and being awful. Yeah. He made her tea.
Wow.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, can we talk about Baby? So this woman has never made a movie before. I looked up all the actors. I had to know. None of them are prolific
They're not
actors.
famous?
They are
What?
not famous. These two women, the two leads, only seemingly have credits recently. They're in their late 40s. So there's still hope for us.
But I thought this was
Trippin' with the Mandys, with the Mandasamys.
I thought this was a third of a
It
series.
is.
Though.
So they've done those two. And then like each of them had like 2 other credits. Like they
and a Tide commercial.
Right. And then the woman who played Baby, who I will not mention because it was so awful. So the plot, which is so difficult to follow, this very beautiful woman shows up and basically takes the men away. It's Preggy's sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm going to go golfing with the men. I'm going to go with the men. I'm going to do this with the men. And the men follow her around. And it's his sister, so it's a little inappropriate. And she's very flirtatious and gross. And then they named the character Baby, which is one of my trigger words when couples are like, oh, baby, will you hand me my glass? Baby, baby, baby. It makes me want to vomit. Justin Bieber, you can fuck right off.
How are you on Babe? Like, is Babe okay?
Yeah, it's gross. I'm not like a nicknamey person, but calling a despicable character Baby, and they must have said it. I wish I were playing a drinking game. I mean, they must have said Baby 250 times in the movie.
Yeah.
At least.
I was very sad that I wasn't drinking while I was watching this movie. I was like, being stupid, blind drunk would be the only thing that would make this better. And it wouldn't have.
No, that's on you. That's your fault. I didn't drink either. But it was really a chore to get through. But what I want to ask you, one of the things I liked, if you just pitched me this movie, is like this family that we've seen on these adventures. I guess the last movie was the wedding of that couple. And the one before was something else. And it's all the same characters. We don't have an American equivalent of that. I guess the Medea films, I've never seen them. Tyler Perry's Medea, the Medea family does this, the Medea family does that. But it was a lovely idea to think you get the gang back together every couple of years and you make a new, funny, charming movie.
Well, there's like Meet the Fockers.
Oh.
I mean,
I guess this is exactly that. Good point.
No, but I mean, where you see a family and then they come back and you see the same family getting together and doing more, but not traveling together. I mean, I see what you mean. That is a nice idea.
Mm-hmm.
I would go for that. Like a family. Well, there's National Lampoon is the other one I was thinking of. They go on
vacation. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
vacation.
Good. You're really good at this.
Oh yeah. My memory is pristine.
Yep. Okay. My favorite scene.
Okay.
Pete at 5407, they play tennis. And we've seen the tennis scene a million times with somebody aggressively hitting the ball. And wouldn't you know, someone gets hit in the junk. But the little old lady, who is my favorite part of the movie, is doing bizarre, like she's the line judge. Pete, play it, 5407.
Really? I mean, she's blatantly trying to get on with Elvis.
Free kick. Where's the ball?
You know what I like to do, Shanti? You know what I want to do? I want to smack her across the face with this racket. I mean, here we are. We stuck here, and that golf stick is busy with our husbands. Penalty?
You know what? Why don't you just calm down and let me get a shot in?
And the worst part is that Elvis is enjoying every single minute of it.
Objection. Overruled. You know what? I can't do this. Sustain. I can't do this anymore. Destin, come and take over here.
Racket abuse.
Substitution.
Oh! 4 balls. No balls.
I'm not going to go so far as to say like she was great, but there was a charm to that actress and to her character. And then at the very end of the movie, when they do a bad Bollywood number, that little old lady dabbed. And I was like,
she dabbed.
Okay, now she has won my heart.
Yes. There was 1 second of the movie when she dabbed that I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be funny.
Yep.
I wanted to enjoy it. There were just like the things like watching her, like her walking in and catching her grandson in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I was like, like that. Everything was like, oh, a dick joke. Oh, somebody got hit in the balls. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
the slutty girl is hitting on the husband and the wife's upset about it. It's just like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah. Anyway, that's just negative. I'm negative Nancy about it. It was all so tired.
Yeah. Do you think that was COVID? I mean, they were forced to make this, with a lot of restrictions.
You mean like nothing felt funny, and so therefore it was hard to. Also, I think if anytime you're going to write a script and put it together super fast like that, unless you have that magic, oh my God, I don't know how it happened, but I wrote a script and the first draft is like practically pristine.
Mm-hmm.
That never happens, or almost never happens
For you.
4 out of 5 it does for me, but there's that one that I always have to rewrite. You know, yeah, it's really hard.
You're making me feel bad, but okay.
Also, I mean, I really like, even for the first bit of the movie, I was like, who's related to who? Like, I didn't understand who was whose kids.
Not at all. Not even through the end of the movie.
I was like, those people, are they all living together as a family? Because when they were getting ready for their trip, their car was right there. They were going in separate cars. I was like, why are you going in separate cars if you're all going together to a resort? Why are you meeting each other there? Like, there's so many things that I was like, what is happening? And so they lost me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I found it very confusing. And maybe that's because it was the third, or maybe they didn't explain it very well. They went to the trouble of doing that beautiful exposition at the beginning of what the movie was going to be about. You would think maybe there could have been so this is my husband, this is his sister, like something to help us out.
Or like if the whole goal is, I'm going to win back my husband, I'm going to ditch my wife. Like, at least then you're like, oh no, that's pretty much what happened. Like, oh, and she spends the whole time trying to win back her husband, and he spent the whole time trying to ditch his wife. And all right, well, you basically told me what was going to happen.
Right.
I want to know why that couple, the young son and they were beautiful to look at. Here's what I'll say is there was a lot of pretty. I enjoyed the pretty faces. Not the husband so much, but but why are they constantly trying to have sex in the living room? That was pretty funny to me. And the scene when they're like getting caught, they're in that was like a 20-minute, I'm going to make out in the living room while my mother's in the bedroom and I don't know that she's there. And they're going to walk in on them. But what was so funny is it went on and on and on. And they were sort of air kissing. And I think he unbuttoned 2 buttons. And then the moms walk out and they're like, oh, and trying to like do what? Neither of them had taken off any clothing or done anything. They weren't even laying down on top of each other. They were like completely uncompromised in any way.
Did you watch
I want balls.
The deleted scene? He was taking her anally in the kitchen.
You watch those movies. You always know where to find that stuff on the internet. And
Deleted
I'm just
scenes.
I'm an innocent little lamb when it comes to that.
And that scene happened like 4 times. Like you said, they were always trying to have sex in the living room and always getting caught. It was so eye-rolling.
I was like, why don't they? I mean, I can see where that would be hot, but if they presumably want to do this, and it's funny to have the couple that's trying to have a baby always choose to have sex in the living room.
An anal baby.
Anal baby.
They don't know what they're doing.
A banal bee. There has to be a way to make that a word. Anal baby. Anyway, it's a funny choice if you're trying to get pregnant to try to do it in the living room of the resort where you're all staying. I mean, and drugging the young kid who I still don't know whose kid that is. I don't even know whose son that is.
Not really. I feel like he wandered it. Like one of the actors was like, I have to bring my son because it's COVID. And they were like, all right, we'll put him in the movie. But I don't think that was a real character. I think he was just like, do you remember in 3 Men and a Baby, how they were like, there's a ghost boy in the background. If you slow it down, you could see the ghost. I think that was this.
Okay. Now I'm mad at you that we didn't watch 3 Men and a Baby because that's an awesome story.
That's a great movie.
Maybe it should be our next movie. I want to see the ghost boy. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I could tell you exactly where it is in the movie.
Oh, my God.
It was a huge deal. When that movie came out, I think it was 86, and it came out like on VHS. You would go to Blockbuster and they'd be like, we are completely out of it because everyone heard about the ghost boy and they were renting the movie to try and catch the scene. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was a big deal.
Wait, was that Tom Selleck?
Yes. And Sir Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Ghostenberg. And who was the third one?
Ted
Paul
Danson
Rudd?
Ghost. Paul Rudd.
Same thing.
Mand, let's play a game.
Okay.
What do you think
Uh-oh.
the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is? I'm going to give you A, B, C, and you're going to pick one, okay?
Okay.
A
Yes.
is the audience score 72%. B is the audience score 51%. C is the audience score 33%.
Is there a negative in front of any of those three numbers?
No.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, well, you expect me to say 33. So I'm going to say 51 because I can't go 73 or 72.
It is 33. 33%.
Well, that's the story of my life, isn't it?
Oh boy.
You
Give it a man
expect
job
me-
and let's never talk of this movie again.
Yeah, it was a real stinker. It was a stinker, but it did inspire me to make tikka masala tonight. So there you go.
Is that what it is? All right. Well, I will give it one manned job
Mm-hmm.
because of the independent nature of it. They got it done. Good for them. And 2 female leads in their 40s. That's nice to see.
Okay, that's wonderful. I am going to give it a half of a man job
Mm-hmm.
because somewhere somebody enjoyed this,
Mhm.
while they were, I don't know, reading the newspaper or something. And I'd rather have a comedy in the world than a war movie. So that I'll give it a half a man job and for the dab.
And
I was mad.
I would rather watch this than Concrete Cowboy any day. So there is that. I can't remember
yeah.
how many man jobs I gave that one.
Oh, I think because I wanted it so bad.
I know.
I hate it when people blow a comedy. It's like, you can't do that. They always have bad reps anyway.
You said
hard to
blow.
I did. I'm going to say it so much more.
So, Mand.
Yeah.
You know how classy I am, right?
Oh, God, you're so classy.
And I'm in a book club.
Oh,
Yeah, smell me.
with other classy people?
Oh, yeah. Except one book club member, and he might be listening, always chooses pop culture, trashy, fun, fast beach reads, which there is a place, in my heart for.
Yeah, no, you love them.
And this time he has selected Brat, the Andrew McCarthy story of the 80s movie stars.
Oh, my God.
So-
where do I get it?
I ran right to Audible because I want to hear him read it.
He reads
You
it?
know, of course he reads it.
Oh
No one
my-
else can tell Andrew McCarthy's story.
Oh, wow.
I have not gotten to anything salacious yet, but I cannot wait. Right now, we're still like how he got into the business in the first place. But I listen to it just every free moment I get. It's
yeah.
easy because Audible remembers your place. It's always on my phone, which is always with me. So
Yeah.
I've been listening in the car. I've been listening while I put on my makeup in the morning. You
Yeah.
haven't commented on my makeup. Audible is just this incredible place to get not only the autobiographies of 80s stars. I
Yeah.
listened to Rob Lowe's a while back, but
Oh, yes. And then you feel
They
like
have-
you're friends with them because you have their voice in your head.
Right.
And not in that psychotic way that happens when you don't take your medicine.
What did you just say to me? So they also have novels and podcasts and all the scripted content. Audible.com is like a miracle.
Amazing. And if you go to audibletrial.com/mandemic, you get a free trial and you get to pick a book of your choosing to do that trial. And then if you don't like it, you can always just keep the book. You get to keep the book. It's a big deal. There's no free lunch in this country. And it's very exciting that anybody would get to spend a free day and a half with Andrew McCarthy. That's very exciting. Talk about diddle material.
Well, I'll keep you posted. I'm not sure.
Okay. A person reached out to me via Facebook and alerted me to the presence of a new podcast called Clit Talk. That's right. It is entirely focused on the subject of masturbation.
Did our dad start a podcast?
I miss him. Will you give him a hug for me the next time you see him?
Of course.
I mean, like, make it count.
Okay.
You know, like a post-COVID hug, like I miss you, I miss our talks kind of hug.
Ooh, a little wetness in the ear as I whisper.
Oh, you went there. That's good. Mm-hmm. For those of you that don't know, there's a whole narrative that Mandy and I have that I used to date her dad, and she thinks it's not true.
Yeah.
But no. So, it was fantastic.
All right.
And she actually, I was like, hey, I love your show. And she's like, well, I'll come on your show. I was like, oh, it's not that kind of show, but you can come anywhere you like, apparently. Hey-o. It was like, they focus entirely on the anatomy of the female genitalia. They talk about different tools for masturbation, and there was this one woman who was like an erotica sensuality coach or whatever. She's talking about like make your time and make love to yourself and like all the different. Did you know that now they've created something that can actually that has a sucking motion, like not the diddle motion, but the sucking motion?
I did not know that.
Oh my God, the advances in technology since you and I were just young masturbating whippersnappers is beyond and so exciting. And get this. Now, you would never do this, but I challenge you. Mm-hmm. I challenge you to join me at one of her, I don't know if it's a full moon. I think it is a full moon. They have live Zoom group masturbation sessions where you can either have your camera on if you choose, or you can have your camera off. You could not look, you could look, you could do whatever. They masturbate in groups. I am loving this. I am terrified. I probably won't actually do it unless somebody.
I'm busy that night.
If somebody,
I'm really, my calendar is like booked.
Okay. They brought up a lot of really interesting questions though. Really interesting questions like, are you like a 2-minute and out?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever even do it anymore? Or are you like I take my time and have a glass of wine and then make an event of it?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was like porn and vibrator.
Yeah.
And one and done. Like kind of like just like a quickie
just
for yourself.
Get her done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I want us so desperately to release an album and be a group called the Masturbating Whippersnappers. That's all I want now.
I thought it was interesting.
I think that's fascinating, but I don't want to know what I got going on down there. I prefer just a pair of cotton panties and a poster of Zac Efron, and I'm good to, I don't want to know. I just don't.
Well, I don't think they're doing hand mirrors. But
they're telling you all the anatomy you said. Like, they're getting into detail.
Well, yeah, because it's interesting. Like, one woman was like, guess what? I did you know that the underside of your breast is a very sensitive place? I hadn't even thought about that.
Of course, I'm going to start touching right now.
Right. Well, we both did. I mean, we're both like, I wonder.
So this technically is a Zoom masturbation session at the moment.
We're doing it. It's not even the full moon, and we are crushing it.
Ow.
I don't know. It was really interesting. I thought it was very
fascinating. How many episodes do they have, and what's their background? Like, are they doctors or?
So Katie, the main host, I think, is a nurse, but one woman is like, she's chosen not, she's not monogamous. She explores everything sexual. But the woman who was running the website is like, she does this. She sounded like the most, she was so, I don't know how to put it, like clinical, but like encouraging and very down to earth. And it was very empowering and cool. And like I do have one criticism of it.
Please.
Well, the criticism was that, first of all, I didn't like that somebody said so. She was talking about it was her mom's 60th birthday. And then she's like, sorry for outing you, Mom. I was like, wait, so you want everybody to embrace their sexuality, but somehow aging is a shameful thing?
Right.
Are you joking right now?
Or did she out her? Like, is her mom
so like,
living a lesbian life now? Oh.
No, she was saying that because she's 60, that's something that she shouldn't have told everybody, which I thought was pretty shitty. And I know that's a thing, but like we all have to stop doing that shit because it's really crappy. And then the other thing was they were kind of giggling like schoolgirls the whole time they were talking about it, which I thought was funny because they have like 100 plus, like almost 200 episodes of talking about masturbation. And at episode 190, whatever I was listening to, you should be past the giggles, I think.
Yeah.
But, or like one woman was talking about how she likes, things on her perineum and like using all the, and she was being really graphic about what she likes.
Is the perineum like a kind of Volkswagen or?
It's the big one. Okay. It's the one that you can fit your hockey sticks in. Yeah. So, I wanted to hear about it because, and the other woman was like, oh my gosh, you're saying an awful lot right now. I was like, this is a podcast about masturbating. Like, what is there supposed to be a line that you can even cross? If I want to talk about my putting hockey sticks in my perineum, don't you ever stop me, Mandy Kaplan.
Never.
Okay.
I can't keep a good woman down.
So that's, you could, I have some videos I can show you.
Okay.
You could. Anyway, it was thoroughly entertaining and interesting. And I was only going to listen for like 5 minutes. And I ended up like, obviously listening to the whole thing. I was like, this is crazy good.
I can't believe there are 200 episodes. I thought you were going to be like, this was episode 2.
No,
that's crazy.
No, but who doesn't want to hear about this stuff?
Gosh, we went in very different directions this week. I want to briefly tell the tale of trying to make gin cocktails. Okay. So Jer and I realized we have a bottle of good gin that somebody gave us as a gift about 15 years ago. And it's been sitting there and neither one of us drinks gin. So we Google recipes and we're like, we're going to figure out a way to make a gin cocktail that we like. And then that'll be a lovely summer drink. Okay. So I Google and they're like 35 simple gin cocktails, They were like, just take your tarragon tea. I'm like, tarragon tea? Who has that just sitting around the house? All the ingredients were so esoteric and specific and like, gourmet shop. So we make one that I'm like, cucumbers, check. Lemon juice, check. Like we have that stuff. We shake them up. Check. We make them all pretty. We garnish them. We're so excited. We clink our glasses and we were like, it was so gross. So we tried to make a summer gin cocktail. We failed. We don't like gin. Anyone who does like gin and lives in the LA area and wants to come over, please come on over and have a gin cocktail.
I love gin.
Do you really?
I do. I love gin. It was my go-to. Bombay Sapphire with like, like a lemon and soda or like
all right. Well, next time you come over, I'll make you gin.
I enjoy a gin cocktail, but it's not for the faint of heart. Like, you start to enjoy gin and the next thing you're like looking for a cardboard box to live in because that's all
you can have a gin cocktail. You're fine.
I don't know. It's a little bit like a Lay's potato chip with me, but okay.
But the real thing I wanted to talk about, which I think we've discussed before offline, is Mayor of Easttown. Jer and I binged it this week. And
okay, interesting. I want to know more. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm supposed to.
Oh, I thought we talked about it. I don't want to say too much if you haven't seen it. That's terrible, right? But the acting is absolutely flawless. It's some of the best acting I've ever seen on television.
Wow. Okay. I got to get in there. Okay.
And I realized one of the reasons I loved it so much, it's like, I was recently lamenting, like, nobody makes like an Agatha Christie TV series anymore, where episode after episode, you're like, who did it?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Paint that picture for me. You were recently lamenting that there was no Agatha Christie. How does that come up in conversation, or were you alone? How did that even happen?
I was talking to my cats. I don't have to justify my life choices to you.
Oh, drinking your tarragon tea. Yes.
My tarragon tea.
Now I get it.
Practicing my pitch.
Okay.
I don't know. I never watched Twin Peaks, but I imagine that's what it was like. Like a mystery with all these quirky characters, and then one dies off and you're like, wait a minute, I thought that was the killer and now he's dead. And what happened? Like, I would like more television like that. I like murder mysteries. That's my point. Mayor of Easttown is a classic murder mystery with twists and turns and some of the best acting I've ever seen. It's on HBO and I cannot recommend it enough. And Kate Winslet is flawless.
Now that's interesting because I just had somebody tell me today that they watched it and they were like, ugh, like eye rolly, so tired of things being so bleak and dark. And they were just dying for a comedy. So I told them, you go check out Trippin with Kandasamys if you want comedy. No. But someone told me it's bleak. Like all of the Oscar movies were so, okay. But you liked it.
It's raw. It's real. It's bleak. There's some humor and you care about characters and you care about what's happening. And the world is so vivid and grounded. I loved it.
Oh, that's great. Is it bleak, but like intriguing and interesting, like that fantastic series, the one that Ben Stiller directed that I loved.
About the prison breakout?
Yes.
I didn't watch that. I couldn't get into it.
What?
I watched about an episode and a half and I was like, ugh.
Oh my God, Mandy, that was like my favorite TV experience of all time.
Really?
Oh my God. I was like edge of my seat. Couldn't wait to watch more.
Are you saying we don't agree?
Escape from Dannemora. Yes. We do not agree. Of course. So I'm going to hate Mayor of Winningtown.
Yes.
I'm going to hate that.
Good.
Okay.
Get right on
but
that.
I'll hate watch it.
You know what we're both going to love?
What?
The movie that we're doing next week.
Oh, fuck yeah, we are. I gave
God.
it a fuck yeah. You know what?
I'm so excited.
I'm going big or going home. I'm already giving it 6-man jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get an episode of Clit Talk and figure out how to celebrate that movie right.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Patrick's
out of town. Patrick's out of town. It's time for the ladies to play.
So we are watching on HBO Max. In the Heights. No me diga. Oh, God. Every trailer,
Did
every
you just
clip.
speak Spanish?
I did. It is, oh, God, it looks so good. I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
So,
Yeah.
I was just about to say, is there a way we could watch it together?
Sure.
Well, I'm very, very busy. You're masturbating and I've got a lot going on. But let's see if we can maybe watch it together. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, yes. It would
Being
be
in the
great.
same
Is
room?
Is it like a 3-hour movie?
I don't know.
Is it? Okay. We'll check it out.
All right. So,
Yes.
that's it.
That's it. We did it.
We did it. We didn't agree,
We got through it.
but I love you.
I love you too. Next time, if I hate the trailer, I can do that Audible thing, right?
If I let you.
God damn it. No, you wear the pants. You definitely wear the pants.
All
See
right.
you next time.